Greetings, travelers, whiz kids, and word players. I am Wizard of Wordplay, and I just played Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. And while this game was something that really came out of nowhere in the sense of we knew they were making a Lego Batman game, and it was like, well, we just got Lego DC supervillains, and I consider that more or less the end of the franchise, what they could give us. And what they show us is a Lego Arkham game going through all the Batman movies was a great surprise. And so I knew I was like, man, I got to get this. Like, I haven't been a good Arkham game since Arkham Knight came out. We haven't had a proper one. People have tried to do like Arkham Shadows was VR exclusive, and that's as cool as that is, and that cool that story is. But it's not an Arkham game. It's not console. It's not third person. It's not all that stuff. So I was really happy to finally pick this up, and it is really a love letter to all of Batman. Like truly, you start with Batman Begins, and you go into Batman, year one, and you then go into the Batman from with Matt Reeves, and then Batman 89, and so on and so forth. And it was really like it wove everything together in very nice ways, on top of that having a big open world with Riddler trophies and a Gotham to explore. So the story is about Bruce Wayne, of course. We all know the story, becoming the Batman, and an overarching plot of these villains doing heinous crimes with like under the orders of someone in charge. And Batman has to build his allies and build his tech and gadgets and what have you to do this to solve the problems, to protect Gotham. And that was really, I mean, what else can you really ask for a story? You go through all the movies, you go through Matt Reeves, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. There's a little bit of Dawn of Justice in there for good measure. Even some references to Suicide Squad. Everything gets a reference in here. There's also a reference to the animated series, which is really cool. A really extended sequence. So all in all, story wise, it was good. I mean, it was kind of predictable. I will say too, the ending was very rushed. Many have said so as well. It felt like they had to cut parts of development out of this, and that there may have been more of an emphasis on the in between before the final battle. But I think that maybe some play testers thought that it dragged the game down, and I'm sure because at the end of the day this is a kids game. They want to make this for kids, and so they probably were like, well, maybe kids got bored, maybe kids didn't want to finish the game, so let's condense the end into just one quick little mission. So all in all, the story's all right. It's mainly for the references and the love of all the other movies that you're going to play it. You're not going to play this thinking you're getting like a brand new rich experience. A great entry into a Batman. Like, this isn't a Batman story the likes of Lego Batman 1, 2, and 3 and DC Supervillains. It is an original story. It is an original story, but it's not an original story, right? You're adapting the other movies. So all in all, story's okay, but not a reason to grab it, but definitely for the love letter for the movies, it was worth it. Gameplay wise, we have all the Arkham classics are here. You have the dodges, your counters, your striking, your free throw, your instant takedowns, all that stuff is there. Your quick fire gadgets. You can really get a lot. It's not as like smooth as the Arkham combat is, but it does try a lot for the kind of easy, cheap, like kids game they're trying to do here, you know? They're not trying to reinvent the wheel, they're not trying to be some great Arkham style combat, but they are a great introduction for that style for, if your kid's like 8 or 9, they can probably master it pretty well, and then by the time they're 10, 11, you can get them into the Arkham Asylum combat. So, on top of the combat, you have, of course, the traversal, the big Gotham map that is not as, I would say it's not as feature heavy as the Arkham maps. I think what's holding this game, holding the map back, is the idea of like visual puzzles. Like we don't, like we have like riddles in Arkham games, like we have the Riddler trophies and those are here, but we don't have like riddles. We don't have, here Easter eggs to the other games or the other heroes or whatever, and you can like snap a photo mode picture of it to complete a riddle. We don't have that. So there's a lot of like just stuff with no real purpose, I guess. The open world map seems just empty. Even though it is large, you're really just going for the collectibles and that's it. Which in these Lego games, the maps aren't ever the the big strong point, I suppose. I mean, there's not really a part that I can point to and be like, "Oh, look," But I guess with the Marvel games, those locations you recognize those and you know those. But with this, everything's just kind of the same. And the skyscrapers don't, like when you're in the skyline, yeah, sure they're memorable, but otherwise you just, I don't know, maybe it just didn't write home for me, I guess. Nothing to write home about. So um the other characters are also like they're fine. Lego games are known for their large rosters, but this one dialed it back and instead went for a roster of about 7 with various costumes and skins to unlock. And it's all right. I mean, it works. You have these red bricks that can change the colors and give you some like little particle effects off of all the costumes. They're largely worthless. They should have just stuck to red bricks being cheats or some type of something, or like invincibility or infinite health or like something, some type of gimmick. So they would have been better off doing it that way. Um, then we have a couple story, like the characters are all introduced in the story pretty well, and it was all right. I don't know. I just feel like I miss the old Lego formula, and I hope we one day return to it. But we'll see. The overall, yeah, gameplay's fine. It's that new kind of Lego style that they're doing. That's still kind of like the old style, but it is missing in some places. And overall, the open world is a serviceable Batman open world that we've seen 1,000 times. This one has the added benefit of there actually being civilians and cars. So I guess it gives us the closest Batman experience. But there's no day and night cycle. There's no driving to Wayne Tower and driving to the Batcave and driving out to the city in one fluid motion. It's all done in like cutscenes and fast travel. So that's a bit disappointing. Um yeah, overall thoughts, it's an all right game. I If you're not 100% in love with Lego and Batman like I am, then don't run out to grab it. But I'll say that if you do get it, or if you get it on sale or something, if you're a fan of the movies, you'll notice a lot of like, oh, that's what they're referencing, or oh, they tied these two things together. Like there are some fun things. There is there's fun things to do the with the story and how you can make things work. There's ways that they've tied, the Batman 2018 with Batman Returns, with Batman and Catwoman, or Penguin and Catwoman, and stuff like that. And there's Batman and Robin hiding or Batman Forever and Batman and Robin and the way things work with that and then it works with the Nolan movies. Like they do some fun things and some fun ways to bridge it all together, especially the Batman 89 to Dark Knight connection. But all in all, it was pretty good. It was all right. I mean, like it's not I still have to get everything, and I feel like once I 100% it, I'm not going to touch it again compared to one of the other games like Lego Batman Original 2, Beyond Gotham, or Supervillains that I'm going to go back through. I can go back through it many times because the big roster really gives it replay value. I'll suppose that if I were to like list all the problems with it, it's the small roster is a big one. The fact that you have to have another character playing as Batman, even in free roam, you can't switch off to someone else. Uh, no replay value in the levels. If you follow a guide or just are really thorough, you can get all of the collectibles in every level and are just done with the game. So that's a little bit lame. Like you don't. There's no reason to go back. There's no puzzles that only Catwoman can solve in a level that had Jim Gordon, which is staples of these Lego games. Like, why remove that? I understand if maybe you want kids to play it and kids have slow attention span these days, but like, do something. Like, make it more replayable. So, we'll see what they do in the future. There's already rumors abounding about them doing another DC game. And I will say that if they were to do a DC game, I would really like a Superman game in this style, even if it's limited roster. But the idea of being able to play with Superman and then having Lois and Jimmy, Steel, Supergirl, Crypto as these other characters, I think would really work. And blending all the movies together, like the original Christopher Reeves and Superman Returns and Man of Steel and the new movie will be really smart. And if they do it, I hope they do it just because this would be the first actual time we'd have a proper Superman game. And I feel like that's worth trying. With Lego Batman, we of course have had Lego Batman games. We've had Batman games. So all in all, this didn't reinvent the wheel. And maybe to its help, but maybe to its hindrance. I just don't. I feel like as a Lego game, it's a step back, and as a Batman Arkham game, it's cool, but it's missing a few of the little like je ne sais quoi. So all in all, I give Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight 3 out of 5 stars. I think there can be improvement, but if this is the new avenue, then just pick better heroes to give the attention to. And if at all possible, return to the original style of doing Lego games. I feel like that's a perfectly fine way to do it with bigger rosters, diverse characters. But, I want to be able to play as characters that get love and attention. But I want to be able to play as Dark Knight Bane as a big fig, or I want to be able to play as Gentleman Ghost. I still have Gentleman Ghost is in this game proper Gentleman Ghost, but still have never been able to play as a proper Gentleman Ghost in these games. So it is what it is. All in all, 3 out of 5 stars. And I hope that they do something different with the next one and take what works and throw out what doesn't. So thank you all for watching. If you liked me talking about Lego Batman and any other Batman related media, you should watch my live podcast, Wow Wednesday, every Wednesday night, and click on the playlist on the channel to watch or listen to all previous episodes. You can also find me reviewing many other games on here with superhero leanings like Dispatch. And I will see you all in the next one.